So if you remember in the previous videos, we made structs for this class and we called it a dragon. So we could go look at that. This is the header file, and that always includes the how a struct is built. That's where you should put the struct. And you can see here, right, we have a couple variables, name and level. And then we have our constructors, dragon here. And then we also have our destructor here. And over here you can see like what those mean for our things. And you can go back and if you want to follow along in the previous videos where we spell all of this out. So now the next step is to actually make an array of these. And it's pretty simple to make an array, right? So this is just making a one instance of the struct is D, dragon D, and then, we print it out and you can see here it says baby at level 0, and then it goes into the destructor. So if you're going to actually wanting to make multiple of these, there's a couple ways we could go about it. We could just do dragon and then we'll just call it D array, and you could give it 3 items in it. And so if we go through and try to print each one of those, right, we could have a for loop equals 0 while I is less than, so for int I equals 0 while I is less than 3, I plus plus, and then we're just going to call the function we made, the print dragon, and then we're going to pass it the D array, and then we're going to pass it the actual item that we did, right? And so we're going to compile this and then run it. And I messed up, so let's stop that, and it should be I. Now let's see if it works. And so you can see, right, it made 3 babies with zeros, right? So no actual data in it. So we could do it that way, or we could do it, we can, instead of submitting it this way, we could initialize it with values. So we could do it this way where we are having Anixia 35. So that would be, right? And you can kind of see that it's nice and it tells you that this is N and this is L. So that means name and level. And then we could have another one. Which is Valthorn and 42. And we need commas between these. It has a comma. Am I missing? Let's try. And then Siraxin 65. I seem to have messed something up, so let's see what we did. I had too many curly braces. That's what I did. So there, that makes, sometimes, spacing things out helps the visual, especially when, CLion's trying to be helpful doing some of this stuff, and sometimes it just makes it harder for me to read. But so now we actually initialized to other values other than just the default one. And so now when we save it and print, you can see the actual data that's in each one of them, right? And so that we treat it just like any other array that we wanted. And if we go and look at this print dragon again, right? What it's doing is it's creating a dragon and it's printing out each individual one, right? If we wanted to, and since we're just sending it one element of the array. That's why it's able to do that. If we wanted to just print them ourselves, right? So we'll just do a cout and we'll just print some of the variables. So we'll say dragon element 1, or we'll say, yeah, element 1 is, and then we'll do D array, right? Sub 1. And then we need the value, so name, right? And then we could also say in the level and D array sub 1 dot level. So it's just like we did anything else, right? We just are adding this new feature where we have a variable that we're adding at the end of it. That's all we're doing to change this, right? So this is like any other array that we've made and we call it, but now it has subparts to it. And so to access those subparts, we just need the dot and whatever it's called. So, right, so dot name and not dot level, and we're getting it. And so now we could try printing that. And you can see here, right, the dragon element 1 is test and the level is 42. And now my little brain's going like, why is that test? So we could go back and look in our code. And this is why it's test, because we were playing around the last time and we set this variable to test, so we can just get rid of that. Try it again, just so that we make sure that, you know, that looks better, right? Because it should match this line, right? The Valthorn. So it's Valthorn and 42, so now it matches. So that's how to make a regular easy array of structs. And in the next video, I'll go over how to make a dynamic array of structs.